Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, in today's reading, we're taking a look at what could be blocking your manifestation. So, if there is something you're currently working on manifesting into your life and it's just not working out for some reason or another, today we're going to dive into what those reasons could be and some advice on how you can go about working with them or around them. So, as always, I have three piles for you to pick from. For pile one, we have a garnet. For pile number two, this beautiful citrine. And for pile number three, we have a jade. So, as always, I will give you guys some time to see which card pile calls to you, and timestamps as always are in the video description below. If this video resonates for you and you enjoy it, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps the channel out so much. And timestamps are below. And without much further ado, I'll see you at your reading. Pile number one, hello, welcome to your reading about what is blocking your manifestation. So if you picked this beautiful garnet, then this is your reading. Hello. So as always, I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your pile for you. And the way I've laid this out is these first two tarot cards will give us an idea of what your manifestation is. I feel a little chaotic. I feel like I need to ground a little bit. Are you a little chaotic right now? If so, hello. But these first two cards will tell us what you're trying to manifest, and you can use that as confirmation about whether you've picked the right pile. These next four cards will give us an overview about what the blockage might be and why this manifestation is being blocked. And then finally, with these two oracle cards, we will read both of these from the book, and these will tell us what advice the universe has for you. I'm just feeling a little all over the place right now. I do apologize. But without much further ado, let's dive right in. So, what is this thing you're trying to manifest? We have strength in reverse. There might be some area in your life where you feel a lack of strength. You feel like you're not capable of achieving the thing that you want to achieve. And maybe what you're trying to manifest is the courage, perhaps to go after a certain thing, the courage to walk away from something. Just this feels like an emotional courage thing, as opposed to anything materialistic. Even if your goal is material abundance or a material achievement of some sort, it feels like you know exactly how to go about it. You're simply afraid. And you recognize that you are afraid. And as a result of that, you've kind of got in your own way a little bit. To clarify, we have the devil also in reverse. Two major arcana. This could be a big deal, whatever this is. It's like it could be like a life-changing thing that you're trying to manifest. Maybe just a complete shift in career, and you would do well at it if you just had the courage to make the leap. Or maybe you're trying to move to a completely different place to what's familiar to you, and as a result that would just completely uproot everything you know, and that's scary, and you're just not able to pluck up the courage to do it. What's interesting is this is Capricorn and this is Leo, and Leo is fixed fire and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It feels like a very stubborn energy. where it's you are too set in your ways right now, and that is kind of causing all this I don't want to say trouble. It's not exactly trouble, it's more just self-doubt, because you there is one way in which you see yourself, and what you are asking for requires you to see yourself in a completely different light. So it's essentially what you're trying to manifest is just a complete change of identity, whatever that means in context to your manifestation. So if that resonates, I know it was a little abstract, but if it does resonate, I feel like you will know. Then this is definitely a pile. So let's go ahead. We kind of have an idea of what this block is, but let's go ahead and see what the cards have to say. We have the Knight of Coins. Yeah, this would require you to take a few steps back. I don't think you would be a complete beginner at whatever it is you want to do, but it would have a learning curve for sure. It feels like if, say, you're trying to switch careers, it's not like a gigantic switch. Maybe, say, for instance, if you're a doctor, you specialized in one field and you're considering subspecializing further in that field, but that would require you to go back and learn some more. Or say you're an artist and you create one type of art, maybe you're considering switching mediums or just switching genres, that kind of thing. Whatever it is, it's like you have some expertise in it, but it might, I'm not saying this is definitely true for all of you, but for some of you, it could be like an ego thing of where you're like, how can I go back to being a student? How can I go back to school? That's shameful after all I've achieved already. It's, like I said, it's like an identity crisis almost. Like you know there is something better out there for you, but you're afraid of what that might mean for who you are as a person, because you know yourself a certain way, and this change would require you to completely revamp your identity. To clarify the Knight of Coins, we have the Empress in reverse. Yeah, that's another stubborn card. The Empress. And there's a lot of Earth energy here. Both of these are Earth cards. The Empress is Taurus, the Devil is Capricorn, and this is Leo, which is fixed fire. So there's a lot of very stuck, stubborn energy. And I think you are so used to being in that stuck, stubborn energy that when things change, or when you even find yourself craving change, it almost like sends you into a panic, because you're like, oh, I don't know what to do if I'm not exactly the way I've always been. And maybe that's that chaotic energy I felt at the beginning. But anyway, with the Empress in reverse, it feels like the reason you're looking for the switch in the first place is probably because you're feeling a creative block in some way, or you feel like you can do so much more than what you are doing right now. And what you're doing right now may be taking you away from your fullest, most expressive self. However, with the Empress upright, she knows who she is, right? Again, I keep coming back, I keep circling back to that identity thing, where it's like, if someone has told you you're a square, you're a square, you're a square, you're a square, your parents were squares, your siblings are squares, you're a square. And then one day you're like, oh, but what if I let myself be a circle? And then that's like, you haven't even told anyone, even within yourself, that's causing a crisis. That's the kind of situation I feel like you're in, where you haven't even taken the first step towards change, you're just panicking internally because you're not sure what that would mean for who you are and who you identify as. This could be more personal than, like a career shift or whatever. This could be coming out to your family or friends, or even recognizing that you as a person are not what you thought you were. Right? So obviously I'm referring to the LGBT community here, but apply it however it fits for you. But in either case, you're worried about things that you may have internalized a bias towards. And as a result, that's kind of creating like an identity crisis. And because of that, you feel stuck. You feel like you're not able to be your best self. Next, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. That's interesting. We have two knights and they're both looking at each other. There was a reader that I watched a while back who said that when it comes to court cards, they like to look at the direction in which the court cards are looking, because that kind of gives you an idea of which card is important in this reading. But both of these are looking at each other, and it kind of feels like a cyclical thing where the Knight of Coins doesn't really move quickly. They only move once they know every possible outcome, whereas the Knight of Swords is known for going full steam ahead, and that's in reverse. So it definitely feels like you are consciously slowing yourself down, or subconsciously. It depends, I guess, on how aware you are of your mental state or emotional state. But it's like you've put these restrictions on yourself, knowingly or unknowingly, where because you're so afraid of what it would mean to be this person who achieves this thing that you're trying to achieve, you're simply not able to find the courage to do the things that you need to do. I feel like this is definitely a big leap, and where you are right now is gathering strength, gathering emotional strength more than anything. To clarify, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Again, lots and lots of earth energy. Queen of Pentacles, self-sufficiency. Maybe in order to make this change, you would have to step into a more independent energy. Maybe you're surrounded by people who don't necessarily support your ideas, don't necessarily support your lifestyle, or rather the lifestyle that you want to achieve. And as a result, you're convinced that taking steps towards this thing will mean being alone, because all of these cards are alone. Right? All of these cards, there's one person. The only companions they have are the animals that they are riding. So I think you might be convinced that with the Queen of Pentacles is usually a very positive card in terms of, being wealthy, being self-sufficient. In this case, it feels lonely. It's like she's not necessarily wanting to do it all by herself, but she's kind of being forced to. And that's interesting. Perhaps that's that subconscious fear that's holding you back. It may be something that you haven't considered yet that you might be afraid of how lonely it's going to be to make change. But the thing about making change is it is such a deeply personal thing that you're the only person who's going through change. Everyone else's life is going to be unaffected, especially when change is so internalized here that you cannot expect people to understand. It is wonderful when they do, And it is wonderful when you're able to communicate how you need people to help. And that's great. If that works out, that's amazing. But that is not the default setting. So I think the issue is you might be approaching this in a sense of you're hoping people can intuitively guide you or accept you for who you are, but it might help to find ways to communicate about what change you want to create in your life, especially with the people whom you seek help from or you want help from, or you'd hope would want to stay in your life once you've made this change. Because I definitely see a deeply rooted fear of being all alone. And perhaps that's why you've allowed yourself to shun this part of you for so long, or not even recognize this part of you for so long. It's because you're afraid that that would make you lonely. Interesting. I mean, I know these are not the traditional meanings of these cards. I like to read intuitively while integrating the imagery and such. That's why I pick certain decks, because the imagery speaks to me. So, but yeah, that's kind of the block that I'm seeing. But let's go ahead and look at some advice. Now, these oracle cards are from the Animal Spirit Guide deck, the Spirit Animal Oracle Guide deck. Sorry. And the Work Your Light Oracle. So I want to read both of these from the book. We have Trust Your Path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? I mean, yeah, I told you, it feels like this change is bigger than, or you might think this change is bigger than what you can manage by yourself. And as a result, you need support, but you're also afraid that you won't have any support once you come out with it. But, trust your path. So let's see what the book has to say for this. Trust your path, number 54, if that means anything to you. Trust your path. The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but to simply keep facing your true north and take one step after another. If you do this, you can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. Things are not going to work out the way you are planning, but if you have a little faith and keep showing up, they will work out better than you could possibly imagine. Don't micromanage the universe. Trust your path and let your soul lead the way. Work your light inquiry. If you knew you would be supported, no matter what would you do? What would you do, Pile 1? If you knew that there was unconditional love and support all around you, how would your life change? How much easier would it be for your life to change is the question. For the animal spirit, we have the dragonfly spirit in reverse. Truth transcends illusion. Yeah, I feel like you're definitely keeping a truth from most of the people in your life. And obviously it's no one's business. No one's entitled to your truth, but it might be getting in your own way to not live your most authentic life. But this is number 22, if that means anything. Dragonfly spirit, truth transcends illusion. Protection message. Did you really think this world of the senses is all there is? From the hidden mystical realms, signs are being sent to you, but perhaps you have perceived separation and convinced yourself that you are on your own. If so, rub the sleep out of your eyes, for Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of all the love and support available to you in every moment. There is an organizing principle underlying the events you have experienced, and Dragonfly Spirit can help you see it and trust that Spirit has your back. As you pay attention to the magic all around you, you will know you are on the right track. So that is your message, pile number 1. I really hope it resonated, and whatever your situation is, that you get to live your most authentic life moving forward. If this reading brought you some support and clarity, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel out so much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Wow, okay, I just had a full blank. But yeah, thank you so much for being here and sharing your energy with me and spending some time with me and letting me read for you today. I really do hope it helped. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Pile number 2, hello, welcome to your reading about what might be blocking your manifestation. So if you picked this beautiful citrine crystal, are we going to focus today? Apparently not. Then this is your reading. So, as always, I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your cards for you. These first 2 cards you can use as confirmation about whether you've picked the right pile. So they're going to tell us what your manifestation is, what you're trying to manifest. Then with these 4 cards, we'll take a look at what might be blocking your manifestation and why that is. And then finally, these oracle cards here will tell us any advice that the universe has for your situation and how you can go about manifesting your best life. So we're going to read both of these from the book today. It's going to be really good. So without much further ado, what is it that you're trying to manifest? First, we have the Chariot. Forward motion in some way. Is there something you're working on that feels a little stuck or a little slower than you would like it to be? It's like things are moving, but not quite at the pace that you want them to. I feel a little impatience here. I'm not going to lie to you, Paul, too. It's like whatever you're working on, you're already working on it. This could be a project, a business, a relationship, whatever it is moving forward. You recognize that it is moving forward. It's just that it's not going at the pace you quite want it to. Yeah, I do get an energy of like frustration a little bit here. It's like, oh, I've wanted this for so long and I'm so close to achieving it. Why won't it just manifest? It can't be that hard. Like that's the kind of internal monologue I'm getting here. In fact, I feel like mentioning that this is this candle here is coffee scented. I feel like you might be on too many coffees or you might just be feeling caffeinated in general, where it's everything is just, oh, why won't it move? Why won't it move? Why am I the only fast moving thing here? Right? To clarify, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. You want to move quick, but this thing won't move at your pace. This could very well be a relationship where you feel like you're there, you are in love, you are committed, and then your person is taking longer. If this is business, it's like you have the papers, you have the project, you have the idea, you have everything, but the people that you are pitching to are taking their sweet time, or the people that you are relying on to hold up their end of the bargain, they're taking a lot of time. And as a result, you're getting very antsy, very impatient. I feel like I want to shake my leg, like jiggle my knee a lot. I feel so, ooh, why won't it just happen? It's so easy. All we need is that one little bit and it won't just fall into place. It's like that kind of frustration. So if you can relate to that, then welcome, you're in the right place. So why is this manifestation blocked? Why is it not going at the pace you want it to go? Let's be real. We have the 10 of Swords. It's the end of a cycle. That's why whatever you're trying to manifest, when it comes in, it's going to change your life in the sense of it will mark the end of an era in your life. Like once it happens, once you get that commitment, once you get that business success, whatever it is you're looking for, once that happens, you will know your life as before this happened and after this happened. It's like it's a defining moment. And those take time. You cannot rush an ending. I mean, I guess you could, but in a cosmic sense, you cannot rush an ending because it's not just the end of something. It also means healing. It means doing a lot of inner work, going through all the stages of grief, all of that. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go through stages of grief, so don't take it like that. What I'm trying to say is when we end a cycle, there is so much that we've learned that we need to first integrate before we can step into a new cycle, before we can step into a new era of our lives. And it feels like when this does happen, it will truly, truly mean the end of that cycle. But it's like you haven't learned all your lessons quite yet, or it's not fully baked. It's not fully baked, Pile 2. And that's the delay here. It's almost like you're trying to rush a cake by turning the oven up. And it's like, it's not going to cook. And you're going to end up with burnt stuff in your cake. So it's like, it's a lose-lose situation. And that's why the universe won't allow you to rush this. It's not because you're being punished. It's not because you're being tested or anything of that sort. It is simply because when an ending happens in our life, we don't really allow ourselves to process it sometimes. We don't allow ourselves to go through the motions of it all. And that is all the universe wants you to do. To clarify, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Exactly. This definitely feels like it could be about business. I mean, it could very well be about like a relationship commitment, but it could also be about business, because with the Ace of Pentacles, every ending is a new beginning. But in order for that transformation, I feel like you're in between these two stages right now. It's like you've gone through the ending and you've, done most of the healing, but in order for a new beginning to begin, you need things to be aligned. You need things to be put into place so that you're learning new lessons, so that you're not just repeating the old ones, because that's a waste of everyone's time, right? And so while to you it feels like nothing is moving and everything is so slow and I'm so bored, just tired of waiting, what's going on is that the universe is putting together people, situations, chance meetings, deliberate meetings, soul contracts, all of that, so that you can step into a new cycle. And that's not easy, because it involves a whole bunch of people to do what they are supposed to be doing, to be in the right place at the right time, not just literally, but also figuratively, spiritually, metaphorically, all of that. So the reason there is a block is it's not a block at all. It is just the universe waiting for things to be perfectly aligned. Because have you heard the phrase right person, wrong time, or right opportunity, wrong time? And the universe doesn't want that to happen to you because you've learned your lesson, right? So if right now you were to be given every single thing that you wanted, it would be the wrong time, because it's not divine timing yet. Because if it was divine timing, you would have it already. there is a bigger plan in play. Okay, so next we have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, you work hard, pile 2. You don't play around. I think, okay, so in your mind, I think you've convinced yourself that the reason this is not coming is because you're not working hard enough. And so you're grinding twice as hard. You're hoping that if I just do enough, this thing will fall into my lap. But that's not how this works. Right? And perhaps you're creating an additional block in your own mind for no reason, because you're convinced that you're just not working hard enough, because if you were working hard enough, you would have this already, which is not true in any way, shape, or form. You are doing exactly what you need to do. Only thing you're not doing is being patient and trusting divine timing. I know that's easier said than done. Trust me, I am one of the most impatient people out there. I know how that feels, and I know how frustrating it is to hear that from a reader. Trust me. But the answer is not to work harder. The answer is to wait. Chill out. In fact, by working harder, what you're doing is putting out an energy of despair, of desperation even. And that's kind of going to make this timeline even longer, because now there's another thing you need to heal before the next cycle begins, right? All the healing that you've done so far is incredible work. Don't add to it. To clarify, we have the Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, this is a divine timing thing for sure. Because with the Hierophant upright, that's a card of structure, of tradition, of things going exactly the way they've always gone. But the cycle that you're about to enter into, that is not what you know. That is not familiar. It is not how your life has always gone. So in order to bring that in, bring in something that's going to disrupt your entire understanding of yourself, the people you love, the world around you, just how life works, that's a tall order. And you've done your part, for sure. But when we live in a 3-dimensional physical reality, it's not as easy as just snapping your fingers and something is manifested. There is logistics involved. There are other people involved. There's free will. There is, timelines and probabilities and all of that. And in order for you to not experience the same old cycles that you've been experiencing so far, the universe needs to bring in completely new energy. And that takes time, because that has not been aligned with you for such a long time. You have just now stepped into alignment with this new life that you want. So for it to attract through the density of the 3-dimensional world is going to take time. And it's 22:33 on the clock as I just say that. Repeating 2s, repeating 3s, that might be something you see a lot. Or just ascending numbers. That's just the universe being like, I know, I'm here. I'm not like, I haven't forgotten you. I'm still here, chill. I'm working on it. So honestly, the only block is probably your fear that it's not happening because you're not doing enough. That's not true at all. You've done everything you can. It is simply about waiting, because when this new thing comes in, it is going to change your life forever. It's going to change your entire understanding of what life is. Okay? So let's look at some advice on how you can make this manifest. I almost said how you can speed up this manifestation, but then I realized that's not what you need. That is not what you need right now, because you've already thought of every way you could speed it up, and it's not going to happen unless it's divine timing. So play. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Pile 2. Oh my goodness. The universe is literally like, chill out, bro. Take a second. You have all this time in your hands. There is literally nothing more you can do. Why don't you just do whatever you want to do right now? You have the time. You have, the space. It's not like you're going to delay anything. You've done everything there is to do. So why don't you just take this time to play and rejuvenate and relax? Because that's the only way you can keep away from this energy and keep from delaying things. So play. This is number 74, if that means anything to you. Play. Stop taking life so seriously. Your spirit needs to have some fun. The more you play, the more inspiration will follow. Take some time out to do something without being attached to the outcome. You are being called to rest and play and learn to have more fun. Take your inner child out on a date. The more you switch off your mind, the more room your spirit has to whisper and guide. Spend more time doing things just because you love to do them, just because they bring you joy and light you up. How do you play? What do you do to have fun? What lights you up? Don't rush on to the next thing. Take a moment to throw a party, go on vacation, or have some fun. Have more fun, play more, celebrate your achievements. They don't mess around, do they, the cards? Yeah, I think you're convinced that the answer is to work harder, but the universe is saying actually the answer is to play harder because you've done all the work you needed to do. Don't make extra work for yourself that you don't need, because that's just silly. Okay. Next we have the Peacock Spirit in reverse. Let it shine. Beautiful. And this is 46. That was 74. Interesting. So it is in reverse. So this is gonna hit hard because that's what this deck does. Peacock Spirit, let it shine. Protection message. Are you afraid of dancing with abandon because of what others might think? Do you think you may be punished if you shine too brightly? Have you been conditioned to expect to be hurt if you show yourself fully to the world? Maybe not everyone will celebrate your beautiful radiance when you shine. That is okay. Peacock Spirit is here to remind you that while others may resist celebrating the beauty within them, although they may contract while you expand and shake your tail feathers, smile and keep dancing anyway. Spirit loves you so much and wants you to enjoy the dance and shine your light. The advice is very much about individuality and expression, Pile 2. So maybe that's something you could work on while you wait for this thing to come in. And maybe that might open new avenues when this does come in. So that's your reading for today, Pile 2. Thank you so much for being here and spending time with me. I really hope it helped. And thank you for sharing your energy with me and letting me read for you today. I hope it brought you some clarity and support, and hopefully you'll be a little more patient going forward. If this reading resonated, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. That really helps the channel out so much. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Pile 3, and welcome to your reading about what is blocking your manifestation. So if you've picked this jade stone, thank you, then this is your reading. So I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your cards, and the way I've done it is that these first two cards can be used as confirmation. So these will tell us what you are trying to manifest. And if that resonates, then you're definitely at the right place. And it also gives me some context about your situation. And then with these 4 cards, we'll take a look at what the blockage is, why your manifestation hasn't come through yet. And then finally, with these 2 oracle cards, we'll take a look at any advice the universe has for you on how you can make this manifestation happen. And we will read both of these from the book. So without much further ado, let's dive in. What is this thing that you're trying to manifest? We have the 9 of Cups. Or is it a relationship? Pile 3. Which makes sense because the jade crystal is the heart stone. It corresponds with the heart chakra. So you could very well be trying to manifest a soulmate or at least a healthy relationship, whatever that looks like for you. This could be you looking for an equal, a partner, someone who reciprocates your feelings, but also in the way that you express them. You might in the past have been in connections that the reason I laugh is because but you might have been in connections where people just do not express affection the same way that you do, to the same degree that you do. And obviously this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but with the 9 of Cups and with the imagery here, it does feel like you're looking for something in that area. And perhaps that hasn't worked out for you yet, at least not in the way that you are hoping for. Maybe you do have offers, because do you see all these cups? Maybe you do have offers, you do have people coming into your life, many short-term relationships, flings, that kind of thing, but nothing really sticks, and perhaps that's something you're trying to manifest. We also have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, something where you really want to invest, something that you want in solid terms. I guess you could stretch the meaning of it to include like your dream career, your dream living situation, but to me this definitely feels very, very love-based. With the Page of Pentacles, yeah, it could be that a lot of the connections that you've been in, I'm hearing especially recently, have been quite up in the air, quite, no one knows where it's going, you're not quite sure where you stand, you're never quite sure where you stand with these people. And as a result, you feel very ungrounded. You feel like there is no stability in any of these connections. And it's like you're making the effort, you're doing your part, you're investing time and energy, but it's just never reciprocated. And you're wondering, well, where is it? Where is the manifestation? Where is my person? I'm doing the work. I'm putting in everything. I'm giving everything to people and getting breadcrumbs back, if anything. And when will I get my prince who will gladly wear clothes that are not his own just so he can fit in and sneak in and come see me under the peril of death? That's the story here, by the way, is this guy dresses in women's clothes just so he can go see her because he's not allowed to, that kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like this kind of makes me think that this is you, or it's symbolic of you, where you're like stood there offering stability, offering solid, practical, emotional commitment to people, and then no one really wants to reciprocate. No one wants to even take it at some point, or sometimes rather. And as a result, it's kind of frustrating because you're not entirely sure what's going on, where your person is. So if that resonates, hello, you're in the right place. So why this block? Where is your person? What's happening? We have the Tower in reverse. Oh, something has to crumble and you're not allowing it to. Okay. So this might be either a self-image issue, which it usually is if you're not manifesting love. It might be old beliefs about your role in a relationship. It might be outdated beliefs from society around you. It could be inner child wounds. These are like some of the many, many possible things that could be affecting how you see relationships. and the kind of people that you tend to chase, because this does feel like a runner chaser dynamic where you tend to fall for people who don't want commitment, who don't want a relationship, who don't want a person. They just want entertainment. They want a distraction. That's that runner chaser dynamic where one person takes and then runs, and then the chaser is like, wait, no, you have my thing, give it back, Well, that's obviously that's not how it works, but that's kind of how I like to explain it. And there is definitely something in you that needs to crumble first, because that's not a healthy dynamic to be looking at. If what you seek is reciprocity, it's not just about what you are able to give, it's about who you are. What energy are you projecting out into the world, right? What are you telling people that you are willing to accept? If not by your words, then by your aura. We think people are quite superficial, and they might be. They might very well be. And that most people don't really look too deeply into, someone's energy or aura, but that's just a feeling you get. And if you're a chaser, if that's who you are as a person, if you tend to run after things that you cannot have but you desperately seek, it attracts runners like flies to honey, honestly. It does. And so the question to ask isn't, where is my person? The question to ask is, why am I surrounded by this kind of person? Why am I surrounded by takers? Why am I surrounded by people who won't reciprocate? Why am I not surrounded by my equals? Well, are you that person yet? Are you that person whom you seek? Or are you hoping for someone to come in and make you better and make you believe that you deserve these things? Because if so, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Why? Because you're not at the same frequency as your ideal person is. Because that's just how it works. I know we think of these like fairy tale scenarios, especially when it comes to love, of, one day someone's going to come in and tell me how beautiful I am and how I deserve the world. Yes, they will. Once you've told yourself those things. To clarify, we have the 7 of Pentacles also in reverse. Yeah, it feels like you've invested so much time in other people. You've invested so much energy in other people, or in trying to be what everyone wants in a partner. Have you invested time and energy into being what you want in a partner? Not just making note of, but being what you want in a partner. Because then when you do that, it will literally not matter whether you have a partner or not, because you are fulfilled within yourself. And when you have that in your individual self, then you resonate at the frequency where someone else who can give you that same amount of energy back comes in. I don't know if that was even English. I'm just speaking. I'm just saying the messages that are coming into my mind. So the point is, you may be barking up the wrong tree, maybe quite literally in the sense of, you're obviously chasing the wrong people, but also you're perhaps chasing the wrong strategy, in that you're looking to turn a runner into a partner. Whereas what you want to do is stop chasing, period. It's not your job to convince someone to love you. It is your job to love yourself. And that way, people will learn how they can love you. People will understand the incredible blessing it is to be able to love you. Next, we have the Page of Cups. Yeah. I feel like you might be caught up in the fantasy of a soulmate who fixes you, which, hey, no judgment. We've all been caught up in the fantasy of a soulmate who fixes us because that's what we're taught to love. That's what we're taught to hope for. We're told that that's as good as it gets, is you'll find someone and they'll make you a better person. Sure. I'm sure they will. But that's not what you should be seeking. You should not be seeking someone to fix you. You should be seeking someone to grow with, not grow from. Yes, there is a soulmate. Yes, all of that exists. That if you believe that, yeah, sure. People are destined to meet, people are destined to fall in love. All well and good. How much of that have you put on the other person, and how much of that have you taken responsibility for how much of that have you taken responsibility for by yourself? Wow, brain fart. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there is so much that goes on in relationships. There are so many complexities, and if you go into one expecting that just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving is going to be enough to sustain that relationship, you're essentially expecting half a relationship, because part of a healthy relationship is also receiving. And unless you're open to receive, you cannot receive, So the irony of it all is you are attracting your perfect match right now. The way that you are right now, who you are right now, is attracting its version of your perfect match. But what you are seeking is not your perfect match right now. You're seeking your perfect match for your ideal self. But the clue is your ideal self, working towards being that person so that you can then attract your perfect match when you are that person. Does that make sense? To clarify, we have the High Priestess. Yeah, go inwards, go inwards, go inwards. There is literally nothing better for you right now than to ascend, than to upgrade, than to be a better version of yourself. Pile 3, I think you may have convinced yourself that this is as good as it's going to get. There is no Prince Charming out there. There is no dreamboat out there that will actually make the effort. That dating in this day and age is trash. And yeah, for the most part, probably true. But if you are not working on yourself, if you are not working on being the kind of person that you would want to date, if you're not working on giving yourselves the things that you want your person to give you, then you are simply adding to the trash crowd of dating in this day and age. You're just adding fuel to the dumpster fire is what it is. Because that's how we've got to this point, is people seeking in other people what they should be giving to themselves. Go inwards, focus on ascension, focus on improving. And then that's how you find your person. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I just had a sneeze. Okay, I might edit that out if I remember. But yeah, let's take a look at some advice from the universe. I think this candle is like setting me off. Deep replenishment. Retreat, rest, be held. Yeah. It's not about going out there and doing more or giving more. It's about going inwards. I think in your search for this perfect person, you've almost forgotten who you are. You've almost forgotten that there is a whole vibrant, powerful world inside you. You've almost boycotted it, if that's the right word. But let's see what the book has to say. Deep replenishment. Ooh, where are you? Number 64. That's funny. For the other piles, we had number 54 and 74. Interesting. Deep replenishment. Retreat, rest, be held. The most selfless thing you can do is to fill up your own inner well. When we are running around half filled, we subconsciously look to things and people around us to give us the nourishment and nurturing that we so deeply crave. Nothing can grow in barren lands. You are no good to anyone if you're running on empty. The feminine is bountiful, fertile, and rich. Tend to your own well and watch as the amount you have to give multiplies. What nourishes you? What refuels your body? What is nectar for your soul? What brings you back to life? What is your secret medicine? What makes you feel abundant and fertile, overspilling with life? What nourishes you is your medicine. When you give yourself the medicine that you need to be nourished, you nourish all those around you, for there is more than enough to go around. Do something that deeply replenishes you today. It is all about going inwards, working on yourself, doing your healing, rediscovering your idea of what love is, what connection is, what a partner is, what you want, what you seek. That's the secret source, pile 3. And we have Brown Bear Spirit in reverse. Take time out. It is all about resting. And I think you might be a little oversaturated with trying to find the right person. You might be spending way too long on like dating apps and things like that. It's time to give it a rest for a little bit. So this is number 9, if that means anything. Brown Bear Spirit, take time out, protection message. When you become so frazzled that you can't decide how to move forward, Brown Bear Spirit arrives to remind you to let go of your impatience. Now is the time for rest and meditation. Take a break, let insights arise, and know that you have plenty of time to make plans. Remember that what is yours will never be withheld from you, so you really can relax and wait until the next right action is revealed. Can't speak. Miracles come from out of nowhere, and yours will arrive on Great Spirit's timetable. So, do your inner work is what I'm getting from all of this, pile 3. But that's your reading for today. I really do hope it resonated. And if this reading brought you some clarity and support, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel out so much. Thank you so much for being here and spending some time and energy with me and letting me read for you today. I do hope it helped. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!